Shawn, last time we spoke was actually at the Barclays, and I informed you that you were going to be fighting on the Mayweather undercard. You weren't even aware of that, and I let you know about that. Unfortunately, you know, you had some family things, the fight didn't happen, but we got you back. Now, then we were talking about perhaps a fight with Danny Garcia, because I believe that he was either a mandatory or that was something that was being rumored.
Something that was talked about by the WBC.
And what we also talked about too was, you know, Showtime's been spending money on boxing, and that's a fight that not only everybody would want to see.
Yeah,
so
we all want it.
You know, I think the money out there would be for that fight.
The money is there. I think they aren't entertaining the fight because they feel like something might come up short. I think the number one thing they feel might come up short is them on the losing end.
Now, Shawn, you're a veteran in the game. I don't like to speak for anybody else's money, but you've probably done okay for yourself.
I'm doing all right.
Right. So, that being said, is there other fighters out there, not like yourself, who once you make a little bit of money, maybe you say to yourself, I got money in my bank, I don't have to take the dangerous risk.
I keep telling myself I can't stop, you know, and then the best part about it is I got my team behind me, and we all have the same we all have the same mindset. You know, we're not done with this, and we can't stop until we're done with it. You know, so some few more years left and doing this and trying to make the best of it. So even though I've made money, I still obviously want to make more, and I still want to, you know, continue to build my fan base, continue to put on memorable fights. And do what you guys, you know, want me to do, which is fight and be great.
And that's refreshing too, because I mentioned before, there's a lot of fighters out there that have made good money, and fighters earn every dollar they make.
Yes, sir. We all do.
I never doubt that.
We all do. Yeah.
Once fighters make a little bit of money, sometimes they don't look maybe to work fight once a year.
You know, I think really just to sum it up, I'm not in the business of slowing down. Once you slow down, that's when, you know, things start to happen. Bad things start to happen, the wrong things start to happen, you know. So as long as I continue on the path that I've been on, keep climbing. Like I said, man, you guys consider me to be one of the top fighters. I still consider myself to be climbing, you know. So that's how I attack this right now.
You're talking about pushing. You're a pressure fighter, one of the best pressure fighters in the game. You fight another pressure fighter, he's gonna put pressure on you. Now, pressure fighter doesn't rarely get moved backward. Do you recall any previous fights that you've had where you fought another pressure fighter that was able to back you up? That you were able to overcome?
No one has ever, that I can remember, has ever been able to back me up. I've had guys that were aggressive that I had to move against and, you know, create the space and box and be, you know, slick and savvy. Yeah. And you'll see a lot of that against Adrian Granados. We know he's at some point going to try to push forward and fight me to the end of the bell. And that's when the foot movement will come into play, and the quickness and the agility, and we should be all right.
Being that you're one of the guys that's willing to fight more than once a year, that's already, I guess, certified as a top fighter and making the good money, what do you think it's going to take for guys like you to get those big fights? I know the winner of this is a mandatory Keith Thurman. Errol Spence is fighting Lamont Peterson. I mean, what do you think it's going to take for these guys to get in the ring with you again?
They just gotta be willing to do it. You know, obviously, you know, I'm willing to get in the ring with anybody. You know, obviously, you know, if all the credentials and everything, you know, makes sense. But at the same time, I'm not making it hard to make sense. You know, my dad knows I'm easily pleased. You know, my dad handles the business and everything else, make sure everything is done the right way. But you know, I tell them all the time. I say, you just tell me who won't win. Those guys just have to, you know, adopt that mindset.
He's been very adamant about wanting a Danny Garcia fight. And we actually thought we might have got that this year.
Yeah, I thought
obviously
so too.
We're getting Granados.
Yeah, I thought so.
You think next year that fight could come to fruition on that side as well with Danny Garcia's team?
I hope so. That's a big fight. It's a great fight for the fight fans, for my team, and even his team. I don't think they see it that way right now, but hopefully in the near future they do.
Was there actual talk about making that fight before this Granados fight? Because I know the talk of it being an eliminator was brought up.
All I knew was there was talk of an eliminator, and that was said by the WBC. After we saw that being stated by the WBC, we said that's the fight that we need. And that was what we did, and we weren't quiet about it. We weren't, you know, behind the scenes about that. We were straight up and down about fighting Danny Garcia, and it just didn't happen.
maybe talking about other welterweights that you can fight out there. Another fighter, I don't know how friendly you are with him, but another fighter that's in the PBC universe right now is Jesse Vargas out of Las Vegas, like yourself. Is that maybe somebody that you have a relationship with, or you consider fighting in the future? Because I'd like to see that fight.
I like Jesse. I like Jesse. I see Jesse from time to time. We go to a lot of the same events back home, and we've even hung out together. I really enjoy his being around Jesse. I think he's an awesome guy and an awesome boxer as well. That particular fight, if it gets made, it gets made. Now when I'm pushing for it like I am, Keith Thurman,
right, sure.
And even Danny Garcia.
Yeah, but you don't know they're going to pick up that phone, so you don't get
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you're not a fighter that fighters want to fight. You're a aggressive fighter. You make them look bad a lot of the time, so maybe you're not going to be able to get one of those guys. So that's why I thought maybe something like a Jesse Vargas is a fight that would be made, which would be a great action fight.
For me, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, that's me.
Right.
Business says something else. Again, I don't really handle the business, but me, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia.
You think maybe, listen, that fight against Keith could have went either way, right? I mean, I know he won barely, but you could have very easily won that decision. Do you got extra tools this time if you were to fight Keith again to get that W?
Same tools, they just got to be a little bit better, I guess. You know, yeah.
Shawn, I know you don't want to speak for other fighters, but when
never want to speak for other.
Of course not, but when it comes to actually making these fights, do you feel like certain fighters actually don't? I mean, I know you got to get the money right and this, that, and the other, but do you have a sense that certain fighters don't actually want to fight you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna say those fighters X through Z, but. Or A through Z, but yeah, I do feel like there are a few fighters out there that if they could, they fight someone else. And obviously, I'm not getting the fights I want with the guys I want. So,
do you say that based off of just opinion, or do you feel like there's things within negotiations where you've actually some factual?
I'm saying based off of opinion. I would say right now, but that remains to be seen.